We messed up.
It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Ooh, I wonder. Ooh, I just wonder.
Welcome back to Braziere Brits. My name is Lawrence.
And I'm Natalie.
And this week we are in Virginia. And so we did this once before. Not been to Virginia. We used to live here.
Yeah, right.
We forgot all of our camera equipment.
Yes.
Because-
So, welcome to the iPhone.
So we're going to do the whole video, almost the whole video, with the iPhone.
Yes.
With no mic or anything, so you'll have to let us know how this is. But we're actually here seeing friends, and you'll know them. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know them. And so we're going to catch up with them.
Yep.
But they have taken us to their all-time favourite vineyard, which
Yes.
is 53rd
Vineyard.
Vineyard. Something
In
like
Louisa, Virginia.
that. Yes. All right, so we're here. We have a couple of things we want to do, and a company has sent us a product, a very famous product, that we need for in a couple of days.
Yes.
This is Chief. You would have seen him. Chief has taught me how to fish, most importantly.
Oh yeah,
Which, by the way, I haven't told you, I bought a new fishing rod.
hopefully one a little bit bigger.
It's well, it's small. It's a compact one. It's very good. I think we got it from Dick's. I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
So we have the fishing rod. But back in, so Chief has been in many of our videos. We went RVing together last year. You just got your new. Remind me, what is it?
Flagstaff Classic.
Flagstaff Classic. Very similar to ours, but you have an extra slide for the bedroom.
Right.
Anyway, unfortunately, Chief back in November.
December 17th.
December 17th last year, Chief had a stroke, and it was serious.
Oh yeah.
I heard you say earlier that you flatlined at one point.
The day after.
The day after.
Yeah, day after. But a nurse was there instantly. What was his name again?
Kyle.
A nurse named Kyle was there instantly and brought me right back.
And so, but I have to say,
6th anniversary.
this is almost exactly the 6-month anniversary, right?
Yeah, this past Saturday.
Like,
was.
bear in mind, like, we spoke to you in January with the WAGs. We FaceTimed.
Yep.
And, I mean, you could talk, but you have come from literally nothing to being able to walk.
Right.
And I'm just going to say, he's not admitting it, but he has a wheelchair, and I think he's lying because I saw him get off the wheelchair earlier and walk down a slope. So,
Yeah.
Natalie, I need a wheelchair.
Actually, what it is the chairs for safety to save the energy in my legs so I can walk down the ramps and back up. As a matter of fact, in physical therapy, Dee walks behind me with a wheelchair in case I run out of energy. I'm still working on endurance for how long I can stand and stuff. That's why they gave me that assessment test last Thursday.
Well, anyway, we thank you. I'm glad you're doing well, Chief.
Thank
I know
you.
a lot of people on the channel have seen you and they've asked how you are. So, and I'm going to include Dee here as well because Dee is doing so much. You've been through a lot in the past 6 months, both of you.
Oh, she's wonderful. Best wife a man could have. And we want to thank you all for all your kind comments and all your prayers because they're all working.
They mean a lot.
Yep.
They do.
So, Chief's goal, you told me this yesterday,
Yep.
is within a year you will be driving your F350 Julie Platinum
Yes.
truck.
That's
Yes.
my goal. And the physical therapists have confirmed that if I work hard, I can do it. So that's my goal.
Anything's possible.
Well, seeing how far you've come in 6 months,
Seriously.
Yeah.
I think you can do it easy.
And thank you guys for coming to visit.
No,
Oh,
thank you for
yeah.
hosting us.
It means so much.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It means so much.
And everybody's welcome to come visit. If you got a small enough rig, you can even mooch stock in the driveway.
That's right. We have a 30 amp hookup.
They do. That you installed for us last
That's
year.
right. That's right. We did.
For our
We did.
mooch stocking.
I was still installing it when they pulled in the driveway.
You were. All right. Well, thank you for bringing us to the vineyard. This is an amazing place, by the way, and we have
Our
bought
pleasure.
some wine. We're going to buy some more wine. So thank you for making
I
this a
don't know
very
if you said
expensive
so, but
day
it's
for us.
53rd Vineyard in Louisa.
So, yep, 53rd Vineyard in Louisa.
Yeah, Louisa, Virginia. Yep.
Not really a work, but it's kind of a workout.
You'll never do this, you said last week.
No, but you're in a mood, so I figured I'd help.
I'm not in the mood. Well, not now. Watching you do this.
I did it.
Well done, Natalie.
Thank you. We messed up.
So we've been boondocking for a couple of days now. Everything's gone great apart from a couple of mistakes. We have our battery bank and our new Victron inverters. One big mistake I made was I left the fridge on, so it killed our batteries in like the first 24 hours, which I did not expect. I should have put the fridge on LP. It's an old school compression thing. Not compression. You know what it is. It's one of the old school fridges. And so our batteries died in the rig. So I thought, no worries. The car generator people sent me a car generator. Now's the perfect time to try this. So we don't have solar. We don't have a DC to DC converter. So the car generator people sent me a unit where you hook it up to the front of your truck. It gives you a 15 amp or 20 amp, I can't remember, outlet. And then you can connect that up to the rig and it will just, trickle charge. You don't get a lot out of it, but it's enough to charge the batteries, run a couple of things, runs a coffee maker, things like that. And the best thing is it's not fitted to the truck. Like if I got a DC to DC converter, I would have had that in the truck and it would be permanent. Whereas this, you can take it into a house or you can power a house. It's just a waterproof inverter basically is what it is. Anyway, so we did that yesterday. I left it connected up to the truck overnight. Now, even though I disconnected everything, it still draws a little bit of power, and now we're stranded in the middle of a field with a dead truck. So, the nice barbecue man at Death Ridge Brewery, he does the food here. Excellent, by the way. I'd come over. He has lent me his car to try and charge up our truck. I'm gonna have to leave it running. We tried to jump it quick and it just wouldn't go, so I'm having to leave this running for probably 10 or 15 minutes to charge it up. We're gonna have to give him some cash for gas. What a nightmare. All right, so a couple of things. I would just want to talk about the electrical issues that we had. I'm putting time codes as we do in all of our videos, so if this bit is going to be really boring to you, you can skip forward to the next bit, which is the car generator, which I love. But anyway, so the power issues that we had, there was a couple of issues that I had, and thank you Techno Jerry, he spent about an hour on the phone with me trying to help me figure some stuff out. But the first thing is, I didn't turn the fridge off. I mentioned it earlier, but it really did drain our batteries straight away. I did not think that one of those electric propane fridges would do that. So that's the first thing.
400 watts or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably, if not more than that.
Yeah.
The other thing was I had to edit a video that day, so I had my crazy powerful PC pulling a ridiculous amount of power for many hours, and there was some other stuff. I made some other mistakes. I think we left something else on, like the water heater or something like that.
Yeah, that was it, the electric water heater, that draws a lot.
So, yeah, a lot. Plus we had the AC because it was really hot. So the AC will drain 400 amp hours in like 2 hours anyway, but with all that other stuff. Anyway, so that was a mistake. Here's the thing, if you get the Victron stuff, it comes with software for your PC or your Mac. The software for the Mac doesn't do everything that you need it to do, and I didn't know that, so I'd gone through the configuration on the Mac, set up a few things, and it wasn't quite working as I wanted it to work. I'm going to do another video on this because it's really complicated with the different lines and the two inverters and the grouping of it and things like that. But if you have the Victron stuff, make sure that when you're setting it up you have a PC handy with their PC software on it, because the Mac software does not do everything you need it to do. Okay, rant over. It wasn't really a rant. The car generator. Now this is really cool. They reached out to us and said, hey, we think you guys might enjoy this, and we jumped on a Zoom session with them, and I didn't even realise that this was on the Canadian version of Shark Tank, which is called Dragon's Den, like it is in the UK. And that's where they got the funding for this. Now, honestly, like, I'm embarrassed I hadn't come up with this, but really this is just an inverter in a waterproof box with some battery connectors on.
Not crocodile clips, they're alligator clips,
Oh
Lawrence.
yeah. What do we call them in the UK?
Crocodile clips.
Crocodile clips in the UK, but they're alligator clips here. Anyway, but this is not just great for RVers. So we use this when obviously we killed the batteries on the rig. You saw that. We use this to help charge the battery. So what we thought we'd do is we'd plug this to the car, and then I got a dog bone that connects a normal 20 amp outlet to our 50 amp cable, obviously it's not pulling 50 amps, it will just supply the 20 amps to the rig, and then connected it to the trailer. So what we thought we'd do is I ran down the battery so much, we might want to watch a bit of TV later, you know, maybe make a coffee in the morning. I plugged all of this in, I left the truck running, and it basically supplied the rig with enough power. So I thought, well, actually it did work. The problem was that we went and drank too much. So when we came back, all I did was I turned the truck off and I pulled the cables out. I left this connected to the truck, and this does draw power from the truck, obviously, but in my drunken state, I wasn't that bad. It was just a lack of concentration. I left this connected to the truck. We also left some stuff on overnight, so when we got up in the morning, the rig was completely dead, and I thought, no worries, I've got the car generator, let me plug it in. Turned the car on, didn't work. So anyway, that was the story there. Back to the car generator. So this is an inverter, an inverter in a waterproof box, basically, that connects to your car battery, and it produces normal outlets here. Now, this is great for RVers for the situation. If you are sober, it's a very good idea to use this, and you could charge up your trailer if you need it in emergencies. I wouldn't expect to live off this, but it is handy. Do you know, the other thing is, we're at a campground right now, and there is some ladies here who are tent camping, but they have a car and a tent camp, and they have a car and a tent. This would be great for that. Like, even though they have outlets here, okay, they have a little portable stove they've plugged into the outlets here, but if you were in the middle of nowhere or boondocking or something, and you wanted to make a coffee in the morning without having to start a fire or anything, you can just use this. So you can just hook this up to your car, run the car, plug your grill in or whatever into the outlet, and it's going to work exactly like you were at a house. Now, the other thing is, like our RVers, we have outlets in the truck, right? So it basically does the same thing. This is 1,000 watts. These ones are 400 watts. And they're normally less than that. But this is the upgraded because we have the dual alternators, so we get a better one. But this will pull 1,000 watts, which is enough for not quite the AC. You wouldn't be able to pull it on the AC, but you could, you know, maybe a smaller AC you'd be able to use. Portable one, something like that, but it's certainly enough for a coffee machine or a microwave or something like that. The other scenario, that actually the reason why they invented this is they had a huge ice storm in Canada and it took out everyone's power, and so the guy who invented this, he wanted this so that he basically thought his truck is a generator, it just doesn't have outlets, so he basically invented this so that he could run things like his AC, his heater, furnace. You don't want AC when there's an ice storm. He could run his furnace in his house, his sump pump, his fridge, things like that. And this was working perfectly. So that's really his target market. But I think this is actually better for RVers and campers and things like that. Even as an emergency, I am never going to take this out of the car. I'm going to use this in the truck as an emergency. Might never happen. I hope it never does. But I think everyone should have one of these. The other thing is the box is got a rubber back, so it hangs over the front of the car, so it's not going to scratch the truck or anything. It has a little gauge meter here. It actually came with a watt meter as well, so you could see what you're pulling. Whatever you plugged in, it would tell you how much you were pulling, so that's cool. And you have all of the, you know, the fancy screen and the outlets and everything in here with a USB port for charging your phone or something. So yeah, it's all there. Anyway, I'm talking too much, but love it. Thank you very much for sending us this. In all transparency, they did send us this for free. But anyway, anything else, Natalie? Can you think?
I have some questions. Hold on.
Okay, we have questions.
So, Lawrence, my question is, and it's not my question, it's a question I think that you're going to get asked a lot. How long can you leave it idling for, and will it break the alternator?
They're good questions, actually. We asked the same ones. So, like my truck, if we had a full tank, I could leave this running for 96 hours. However, you should not ever do that because it has a particular filter.
Yes.
Particulate filter, something like that, that you really shouldn't leave a diesel truck just idling.
No.
So it depends on your car, your truck, your vehicle, anything like that. Especially, you know, leaving it running. I wouldn't suggest you leave it running with this on all the time. We left it for about 3 hours when we
I think we should upload part of the Zoom session where he does talk about the fact that you can, and he knows workers on construction places that literally leave their trucks running for 8 hours a day and the engines are completely fine. Have you already forgotten this information?
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks ago. All right, well, here's what he said.
Ford says that you can just like start your truck and run it for 85 hours. So that's right from Ford. No idle issues, no nothing, just start your engine. And it's really true, like, because a truck engine, a modern truck engine is built to run. Now, the only difference is with a diesel engine. I've got a diesel SUV as well, so you've got a diesel as well. There's something called a DPF, which is a diesel particulate filter, which basically pulls out, the diesel soot. And that takes about average 10 to 12 hours running at idle to fill up. So just to be aware of that, we usually say if you're running your car generator for more than 8 hours at idle, just after 8 hours or 10 hours, disconnect it, go drive around for 15 minutes, and the truck will clear itself automatically, and then you can carry on.
Okay, and in addition, the other part of that question, of your original question, was the alternator. Yeah, it is using the alternator, but let's go back to the Zoom call.
Yeah, so the RV Geeks, actually, on their journey, they had a Ram 15 or 2500, I forget, a Ram truck diesel with the same thing, and they just use high idle on that as well. So it slightly speeds up the engine idle and gives you more output if you want. So that just means you can get a higher output and you can charge your batteries faster, or you can do whatever things you want to run. So
no idea. That's great. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But just baseline, anyone that has any kind of vehicle gas or whatever it is, you basically just start your engine and you can pull out about half of your rated alternator amps at idle. You're not stressing it. You're not overheating it. You're not taxing it. They're sitting on the internet and they see our ads and they write back and they say, you're going to burn out your alternator, your battery. And it's just honestly not. It's not true.
All right. Well, thank you again, Car Generator, for sending us this. They actually have their own YouTube channel where they put little bits of bobs and informations and, like success stories and things that other people have used it for. So we'll put the link below for that so you can go over. I think it's just search for Car Generator, you'll see it. All right. Sorry for rambling, but we hope you found it interesting. We are going to put a video or a playlist up here that we think you will enjoy.
Yep.
Don't forget to like this, subscribe if you haven't already, which you should have done by now, surely. And hit the thanks button, because Natalie loves it when you do that.
I do. Thank you.
And oh no, what else? Oh, and if you'd like to become a channel member and support a couple of tits and become a Braziere, you can hit the join button. All right, we will see you next week.